Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Gemini for the rest of July. Now, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and see what's coming forward for you here for this mid-July updates. Do hope you're doing well as always. Hope things are going good. Hope you're making the most of this month of July, getting out there and doing the things you want to be doing. So we're going to go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. Okay. Gemini, I think that's looking just about good enough to me. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is definitely nice in the tarot. Queen of Pentacles can say that maybe some of you during this period of time are looking at your financials. Oops, sorry for pumping the camera there. You're maybe looking at your financials, right? You're trying to budget, plan, prepare, save for a purchase or save for an expense. In your situation. This person is very, very good at building a financial game plan, right? So some of you may be looking at this. This also can connect to your habits and your routines in life as well when you see the Queen of Pentacles. So taking a look at what's working, what's not in terms of your day-to-day can also be there. You know, to be honest, everything I'm talking about, it's sort of like the mundane kind of like aspects of your life that you don't really want to love, like you don't really want to spend time doing. You might not love to do it, but they're important things. And it's those like little things that you maybe don't want to do that the Queen of Pentacles is very good at, and this is how they've become successful. And so maybe some of you are looking at those types of things that you're in your situation right now. I will say there's definitely some financial stuff going on here with the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. This isn't going to be surprising to you, okay? I'm not saying anything that like I don't think you're, how do I say this? I think that if you're in this reading right now, this is something you're probably already aware of, okay? I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. I will say the influence of the sun to me would suggest that this is probably going to end up being good, or it's going to end up turning out okay. But let's dive in here. So I love that the sun is here. You actually have an interesting combination of the moon and the sun. We're going to talk about that a lot more in depth. But right away, in the middle here, you do have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, you know, this is a card that can indicate scarcity. It can indicate loss. You know, it can indicate a financial loss. And what I will say is perhaps some of you have an expense. Okay, there's an expense that's coming up here, a car bill, a medical bill, you know, something else, childcare, you know, something else that's showing up here. And it's just, it may simply mean that this is something that you're currently dealing with, okay, at this time with the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You know, many times I'll look at the Five of Pentacles and I will say that, you know, this is about like a mindset shift, right? Like sometimes when you see this card, it could indicate that somebody's dipping into this scarcity mindset, right? This idea that they don't feel worthy of having abundance, right? So I will say between now and the end of the month, try to let go of that, okay? So like this is a really good period of time for you, Gemini, to bring in as much abundance thinking as you can, okay? That will really, really, I think, help you. Now, this also means that you have to take the appropriate steps and actions on anything that you are having to deal with financially, right? As well, based on this reading. By the way, in a reading like this, I just need to be clear, I can't give financial advice. It's not financial advice, but you know, we're starting off strong here with the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. In the tarot, these can indicate budgeting, planning, preparing, and also this can talk about some financial expense or expenditure that is coming out of nowhere, okay? Having to part with something here at the same time. Is there an energy around your job? I don't really even see job energy, right? So we don't really have wands. Yeah, we don't have wands. We have swords. We have some major arcanas here. We have a lot of swords, okay? So I'm going to dive into what that means. In the first column, you have the Hanged Man, the Sun, and the Moon, Gemini. All right, so first I want to say that everything's going to be all right, Gemini, okay? I'm going to try to make sure that that is the core theme of this message. And just to be clear, I'm also not just saying that, but you have 3 major cards here that would indicate this situation's turning around, okay? Will it be a little dicey? Will it be a little choppy? It might. It might. But this is going to end up working out, okay? I'm gonna explain this as we go along. Now, the Hanged Man says that there's something that you've been resisting, okay? I have a feeling, Gemini, there's something that's been you've been kicking something down you've been kicking the can down the road, so to speak, or there's something that you've just been putting off. You've been resisting something, okay? The Hanged Man, in some respects, especially in a reading like this, can indicate resistance, okay? The next card in the timeline here would be the Death card of the Hanged Man, and the Death card represents transformation. This person is resisting the transformation in front of them, in some respects. That's one way that you could look at the Hanged Man. It also can be this idea that you're in a holding pattern or you're in limbo around something. You might be in limbo or in a holding pattern here with the 5 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. That's possible, but it's more so there's something that needs to be approached here with the Hanged Man. Okay. You then have the Sun and the Moon. So, Gemini, this is an interesting combination here, okay? Sun and the Moon. The Moon is something that you may be in the dark around, okay? It might be a hidden situation, something that's not clear, okay? It may be fears, it may be anxieties. I think there are fears and anxieties here as well for some of you connected to this situation, but it's something that you can't necessarily see. The Sun brings that to light, okay? The Sun exposes that, 18 into 19. Whatever you are in the dark around, the Sun brings the truth in this situation, okay? It exposes whatever you need to see. The Sun is a very, very positive card. It's the best card in the tarot. And usually the Sun will negate the challenging aspects of cards around it. So you do have the Moon. You have the 5 of Pentacles here, which is a good thing. You have the Hanged Man. These are all really good things that I look for in a reading, okay? But to me, what this is suggesting as the reader here is there's something that needs to be taken care of, and you will find the confidence, Sun can indicate confidence, and the strength, we'll get into the next column, to do this, okay? In this middle column, you have the Strength, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, here you are, Gemini in this case. This could be any air sign, but here you are showing up with the Queen of Swords. It feels like the Queen of Swords. Yeah. So first of all, I think it's just you showing up here. We'll investigate what that means further. But the Queen of Swords is not afraid to cut something out, and I wanted to say that these swords cards are really strong. Swords. The idea of a sword is cutting something. It's letting go of something. It's severing something. It's ending something, right? It's communication in the tarot as well. The swords can also represent communication. So I think that if there are conversations that need to be had here, let's say that for some of you here, there maybe you need to call the lending company, okay? Like, you will very easily do this, okay? If there's something that, like, let's say you're behind on a payment, or there's some sort of payment terms or something you need to square away here with the 5 of Pentacles, you will find the ability to do this during this period of time. You have communication energy on your side, for sure. For sure. You will find the right words to say. You'll find the right solution, potentially. However, this may also mean that you have to part with something, okay? No more Netflix, right? This may mean that some of you have to make the coffee at home. You might have to make your coffee at home, okay? Maybe Starbucks once a week. You get the idea of where I'm going here, okay? You have to not order Uber Eats or Grab Eats or whatever. Like, some of you here are looking at this, right? So it feels like there's something that you're parting with, but you're also through that creating a resolution to maybe something that's stressing you out. So this is very positive from my perspective. You then here have the Strength card, which can indicate willpower, courage. Okay, you have confidence, you have courage. You have an ability to overcome difficulties that are here. And yeah, there might be one, but you have the ability with the Strength card. You know, it's Leo season soon. Here it is, Strength card, Leo. You know, end of, I think July 22nd is something like that, is when Leo season starts. So, you know, we're looking at that period of time onward. And, you know, you have this ability to resolve the problems and to resolve the difficulties if you're dealing with it. In the final column, you have the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. Yeah, I mean, I try to make these readings as positive as possible, Gemini, but I also try to be like realistic as possible in these readings. Five of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, it's a challenging combination that may indicate needing to part with something or some sort of expense or a loss that's coming in here, okay? This may happen with the, or what this may end up leading you to do is taking action on something, taking a decisive step in the right direction with the Knight of Swords, because I don't actually think this is a surprise to you based on this reading coming into this. Maybe this is something that you've been aware of, okay? I don't really see surprise energy here. The Knight of Swords, so if this is not resonating for you, then this is not your reading so far. I'm going to go through and clarify. But the Knight of Swords, it talks about, you know, striking while the iron is hot here. And I will say that the Ten of Cups as well is amazing energy. You have the two happiest cards in the tarot, the Sun and the Ten of Cups. So stick with me here because things are turning around for you, Gemini, especially as we get through this reading and we get into the clarifications. The Sun, the Ten of Cups, these are major signs of happiness for you and fulfillment. But right now, yeah, there's something that's happening here. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading because I'm very, very curious to see what's happening for you here, Gemini. I'm going to start off by pulling some oracle cards, and then I will also move into the tarot clarifications for you. Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. Yep, we're going to take all of these. And energy on the bottom, don't stop. Not a great time to give up. Okay, or to fold, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a great time to fold, okay? And, like, what is your response through difficulty, I think is part of the question here. You know, you're building resilience. You probably are a resilient person already as you are watching this. Like, you know, you probably already have experience in going through issues or going through challenges, and you're ready to complete this. Tens, right? Double tens represent completions in the tarot. This could be the start of a new cycle for you as you close one out. Maybe you go from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Cups cycle. You're closing something out here. On the sorry, not on the bottom. You had Don't Stop on the bottom. First two cards, improving health and weight. All right. Let's see what else we have here. You have, if you believe the situation will improve. Look, I said, this is super, super important. This abundance mindset is going to be helpful. At the very least, it will be helpful, right? It can't hurt, right? The only thing that can hurt about an abundance mindset is if you're not doing the things you have to do, right? So doing the things you have to do plus the abundance mindset, it's a cheat code, right? Because you know, you're priming your mind for success, right? So if you believe the situation will improve, right? Gemini, you will get through this for sure, as I'm seeing this here on this, as I'm looking at these oracle cards, and also based on these tarot cards. You then have a year from now, and no need to worry. No need to worry, Gemini. Could it take a little bit of time? Sure. Again, I don't see anything surprising here. I think this is a developing, unfolding situation. And then be assertive. This idea of being assertive is absolutely found in the Knight of Swords card. Okay, so, you know, I think, like, what steps are you taking? You know, I say this a lot in my readings, but I'm like a huge fan of taking ownership of ourselves, right? Like, radical self-ownership, I think is, like, important thing to have because I think it's just generally good. It builds a strong character and, you know, it builds a lot of skills. And also, you can be proud of yourself when you take ownership of the things that you've accomplished or the things that you've done wrong, right? And, you know, I think it's also good to take as many steps as you can in the direction that you want to go. Now, you can't do that all the time, right? Like, life gets in the way, things happen. But anyway, like, this idea of going after it is important here. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate you spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot cards. All right. We have the King of Wands, we have the Three of Swords, and we have the Temperance card. Okay, so there it is again, right? We've got separation here. Not surprised to see another Swords card with the Three of Swords. I just feel like some of you have been through a few rainy days, so to speak, here in the past with the Three of Swords. You've been through a few rainy days. Maybe it was connected to a relationship, a breakup, a divorce, whatever the case may be. If not, it doesn't always have to connect to that. You've had to part with or separate from something. But the sun is there as well, and the sun is clearing the rain for you, okay? You have the Temperance card as well, which is a nice card of healing. You have this improving health card. Okay, this is one of the health cards I look for. Temperance card, Star, Four of Swords, there are a number of them, right? And you have this here, okay, that seems to be pretty positive. And I like this, okay? So I feel like there was something that was going on below the surface here where it's like, I don't know, maybe you had, yeah, there was maybe just something that was sort of like not exactly, how do I say? It was not obvious. And I think that you can find a solution to this. You know, you might connect to the right health practitioner or doctor or medicine or health regime, something like this here, health regimen, something like this. And yeah, I think that this could show up here. You do have the Temperance card as well, in that it can indicate a turning around of your situation. So this is very positive. And then the King of Wands. Look, the King of Wands couldn't be more opposite of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man's kind of just in limbo, waiting, maybe gaining enlightenment. The King of Wands is taking life by the reins, right? They are living an epic life. They're enjoying themselves. They are passionate in what they do. They're inspired. They're also entrepreneurs, usually, or if they're in the business place, you know, they're the most passionate person, most talented person in the room. So, you know, yeah, these are really good things. You have the Sun again, amazing. You have the King of Cups, and you also have the Hierophant. So double Sun, right? Sun twice, double confirmation. That's a positive sign, right? You don't always get the Sun twice in a reading, but here you are, you have it. This is turning around for you. The Sun can really, especially with the Strength card, I think that, you know, I was talking about this idea of like self-ownership, right? Like, this is really important here. It's kind of like coming into my mind as I'm looking at the Sun and the Strength card. It's almost like some of you want to build confidence, okay? And I think you can build confidence through sticking to a commitment, okay? The Strength card, it's all about willpower and obviously strength. But if some of you have made a commitment, you know, to another person, maybe to yourself, maybe you've made a commitment to yourself, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z every day. Like, go forward and complete the commitment. Like, go see the commitment through, because I think that this will build confidence and this will have a ripple effect on other things. I think this will have a ripple effect on other things here, okay? So take a look at the commitments that you have created. You have the King of Cups here as well. The King of Cups, you know, this can be somebody who's ready to handle any storm that is in front of them. So yeah, there may be something brewing here. You probably already knew that. You're ready to handle it. You have the Hierophant as well, which can indicate tradition. It's also a card of marriage. The Hierophant can indicate elders in life, you know, the elders that are present in your life in some way. I think some of you want to change, okay? Because the Hierophant, there's nothing wrong with tradition, you know? But it's kind of the old guard, and there are good things that we want to keep with us, right? Like It's good to do things the same way you've always traditionally done them for some things. But then there are also other things that we want to change up, right? We want to shift around, or we want to shake up. And maybe some of you are looking at this here as well with that Hierophant. You have the Three of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Eight of Wands. Okay, definitely not stressed about this. Hopefully, like, if you stuck around to the end, here we are. You know, I'm glad you did, because this situation is really, really, really turning around. Okay, I think this started off with like some, like very much so, like some like financial fears here with the Five of Pentacles. I think that this is like a normal thing, having been through that myself personally. I understand being in that position. It's not a good feeling, right? It's really not a good feeling. And I think that working through that, like by taking the steps that you can, by sticking to the commitments that you've set for yourself, these are all really big things and having ripple effects. And through that, you have the Eight of Wands with the Ten of Cups. This is a big piece of news that's coming in for you that could make you feel very, very happy. And also that could lead to some sort of completion here. Okay, this could be connected to a house, as you have the Ten of Cups. I always like to say this family owns the house in the distance, so it could be connected to real estate in some way. The Eight of Wands is a nice card of a breakthrough as well here. So you then have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning, planting this financial seed. And, you know, when you find the right opportunity to do this with the Knight of Swords, to me, it would suggest that you're going to go for it. You're really, really going to go for it. You then have the Three of Wands. Yeah, maybe there's something that you're having to part with. Maybe there's some sort of loss or challenge here or ending. But through this, the Three of Wands would suggest that you're also taking this as an opportunity to grow and expand your situation, right? Three of Wands is all about growth and expansion, and also adventure. There's a message of adventure here as well that I will say is on the cards. It's in the cards. You then have the Two of Wands. There's potential. So 2 into 3 of Wands. There is real potential here for you, Gemini. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at what is in the Kipper messages here for you. See what's going on in the Kipper cards. Yeah. Okay, you have gift, community, high honor, unexpected income, courthouse, and official person. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of you are waiting for a ruling here. Gift and unexpected income is like a really nice combination. I think that this is going to unexpectedly work out, okay? I said there's no surprise here. It's just that I didn't see, like, I don't think I'm saying anything that you don't already see coming in terms of, like, okay, yeah, you maybe have had a little bit of a challenging situation here. But what I would say is gift with unexpected income, this isn't like a large sum, but you could just find exactly what you need, you know, at the exact right time. Let's say you're looking for the right house, or you're looking for the right rental apartment, or the right car, or the right job. This may mean that the universe is trying to give you a gift here, okay? You're kind of being, the universe is giving you an opportunity here, okay? I also think that you have built a nice reputation with high honor and official person as well. Maybe this is connected to legal stuff. I don't know, with community and courthouse. It's not really resonating for me. But regardless, thank you so much for being here, Gemini. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.